jump in, you gotta ask, how can I be of use? And I want every white person who comes to a discussion of race not to think of this as their own eat, pray, love journey into being a better person. But to look at this as necessary action to stem the death and destruction that white supremacy is wreaking upon communities of color. And so if you don't sit down and say, how can I be of use, then you are of no use.
Yeah.
If you're a person of color listening to me right now, first off, all you gotta do is stay black and brown and don't die. All right? But I hope that while white people are seeking knowledge, humility, that you're seeking audacity. That you are listening to those voices that you had maybe when you were young, and the first time the sting of racism hit you, and you knew immediately it was so wrong.
Yeah.
It was outrageous, and you had every right to be outraged. And then someone told you not to. Someone told you life isn't fair. Someone said, oh, this is the real world, and you stifled that. I want you to seek the audacity you had that was rooted in a truth that is still true today.
Yeah.
The system is wrong, it is brutal.
Yeah.
And your brain and your body are telling you the truth. And you have every right to be heard.
Yeah.
And if the language you use is the language that works in your community, it is a language that white people can understand if they try a little bit. It is a language that deserves to be published. It is a language that deserves straight A's on your papers. It is a language you deserve to hear on the radio. It's a voice you deserve to see on your screens. And know when you come into these conversations that your lived experience cannot be undermined. It will be true, and it's what we need if we want to be able to move forward.
Yeah.
I need your voice. I need your experience. I am getting older every day. And my experience is valid. It comes with me. It ages with me. I am not less important because I am older. But I am less relevant to you because I am. What you're living right now, the reality you're living is built off of what we have been creating in the past. Just as my work is built off of the hard work that our ancestors have done, I hope that you will be building off of mine, but that also means that you have something to contribute. You can see further than I can before you become cemented in this idea that there's only so much we can ask for. There's only so much we can say. That we have to say it in a certain tone, that we have to beg, and that we have to be grateful. Know first and foremost, white supremacy is a system built and maintained by white America. Which means that while we fight because we have to, it's not actually our job. White person with the discussion of race does not get you a free pass. Because you get to be comfortable plenty of times. I hear from a lot of white people who say, well, you know what, right now it's not about race. Or, I just don't feel like talking about race right now. And that's a luxury that I know because I get to make a better choice. Knowing that people of color who are talking to you, that you are interacting with, are experts on their lived experience, and listening to them means that where you interact with them and where you interact with their systems are where you have the opportunity to make change. You're taking race out of the upper echelons of theory. We are taking it out of the big textbooks and taking it into, okay, how does this impact people of color every day in their jobs, in their schools, in their families? And that's where they are experts. And you have to give full respect. So enter these conversations knowing that this is your best chance at actually solving real problems, at actually being the person that you like to think you are. And if we do this and we engage in these conversations honestly and with integrity and with real commitment to reduce harm and to break cycles of oppression and violence, we will make real change. Thank you.